Hi, hello, and welcome to another episode of Man with a Mentor. And I am your host, the man, Matthew Barnard. And you may be wondering what a show called Man with a Mentor is about. And basically, it's about finding success in your career of choice, something you're passionate about, and you go for it, and you're finding yourself getting it and finding your passion and your belief and your love for what you do every day. And the person I have today who loves doing two things, so we'll talk to him about both, is Wade Wuebker. And I said it right.
Yes, you did. Thank you for having me on today, Matthew. I appreciate it.
Yay. So let's talk about like two different things that you're passionate about.
Sure.
Which one would you, let's talk about massage there, but that kind of started you down the path.
Yeah, that kind of started my professional career.
Right. Now, do you like to be called a masseuse, or do you like to be called a, what's the best term?
My official title is licensed massage therapist.
Right.
So that's just, you could throw in licensed medical massage therapist, since I have my medical license technically through the State Medical Board of Ohio. Massage therapist is perfect.
All right. Let's go back to like, when did you first feel like you look very healthy and athletic. So did that lead you into like a desire to like work with, something involving wellness and health and all that?
Yeah, definitely. So I started when, really, I mean, if you want to get into it, I had a hip fracture when I was 15 playing soccer, right?
Oh gosh.
So that led me down a rehab path. Did a couple weeks of physical therapy to kind of strengthen everything. Had some massage done. I enjoyed both aspects. Right. And so outside of high school, when I was looking for a direction ahead, and I realized that school, college maybe wasn't for me, and I love physical therapy, but I couldn't see myself going down that path. Just the schooling and everything. So
it's like a 9-year path, right? Because like 8 years of school, and
you got to get a doctorate nowadays to really be competitive.
Right. Yeah.
And so knowing myself, I was like, all right, maybe not the best choice. So I decided to go into massage therapy, looked into programs, looked at Dayton School Medical Massage, 2-year program, condensed down to 11 months, get you in, get you out, you're licensed by the State Medical Board of Ohio. So it's as legitimate as it can get, and I thought it fit perfectly.
Yay. Because, the other aspect of trying to get in the medical field is the cost. I mean, you're looking at like multiple 3-figure output, and then I wonder, like, what if you become a doctor and you're like, oh my God, I hate this. That's
a reality. That's a reality. Unfortunately, some people do get that, but there may be like, my brother-in-law is an MD, and he knows people who have gotten down that path, who have put like 8-9 years into it outside of high school, and they just realize they don't enjoy it, and so that's a reality. But at that point, you're pretty much set. Right.
But you can't take that knowledge away from your brain.
No.
That's the the caveat of a lot more about like bodies and internal and external things than anybody else out there would. So there's that. But then there's the mountain of debt.
Yeah.
That is on your
Thankfully, my schooling wasn't that much.
No. I think you seem to hit it right.
I tried to play my cards as best as I could.
Right.
I'm really big on not getting into debt, and thankfully the schooling at Dayton School wasn't going to break the bank. Yep. And so I got some financial aid, whatever paid for it, paid it off, and we've been doing pretty well ever since. The teachers were fantastic. I really admired my instructors, very knowledgeable, but they definitely would they kicked me in the pants a couple times when I was like starting to fall off a little bit. Because they were like, we want you to see you succeed, and so they were pretty hard on me, but it turned out great, and in hindsight is 2020, and I'm grateful for it, and that's really what got me through the program. So
right, I sometimes think those people that give you the roughest time are also the most memorable.
They are your biggest advocates.
Yeah,
they really do want you to succeed.
Right. Yeah, I know. I'm reading Maria Sharapova's autobiography right now, and it seemed like the people that really like pushed her to just hit forehands for 3 hours at a time are like the people that she remembers for being the most key ingredient for her winning like 5 Grand Slams or whatever it was. Yeah, so there's something to that. You probably hate them at the time.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, hindsight's 20/20.
Right.
It's and now that I'm older, I have an appreciation for it. You know, that I didn't have, you know, in the moment.
Right. Did you like encounter any? I don't want to say like reverse ageism, but you know, do people see a 20-year-old like massage therapist and think, really, like, what do you like, you know, or do they want somebody like? How many times have you done this? 3 times, or did you encounter that, or have you always been like seeming like you know exactly how to take care of everything?
There was definitely a learning curve to it, you know. So like, I wouldn't say reverse ageism. You know, I don't think anyone, maybe at my first job, you know, because I definitely looked younger, they were like, this is like a kid, you know, like fresh out of high school. But, you know, that's just kind of how you got to go about it, you know. There's no way to get experience unless you start working. And then, you know, we go through the sessions, and it's like we have great sessions together. And then I grow as a person, and I grow as a professional, and it's just kind of, you know, you got to get over that little hump of being new. You know, I think that's for everyone.
So how did you go from like working somewhere? Did you work for like a chain?
I did work for a chain. Yeah.
And then how did you know when it was time to go and do your own thing? Was that scary?
Yeah, it was definitely intimidating. You know, there were a lot of factors that went into it. Basically, I realized I kind of capped out, like, at the place I was working. And I figured, you know, now is a great time to do it. I'm young. I don't have any debts. I don't have any, you know, huge financial responsibilities. So I can put it toward starting a business. And so it was after about the 2-year mark from working at the spa that I started at, which I loved. You know, I really enjoyed it.
Right.
Loved the clients, what have you. But, you know, I just kind of got to a point where I realized I was like, all right, if I want to progress in this field, I have to do my own thing. And it's like taking that leap, that initial leap, you know, was obviously frightening. A lot of uncertainty and a lot of responsibility. But ultimately, you know, it's if you just persist long enough, and my big thing is I really try to give the highest quality sessions possible and just spread by word of mouth. And eventually, you know, you gain a following. And it's great now that I'm attached to a gym here in Centerville called Defiance. And so a lot of those gym goers clientele, they're my friends, they come see me, and it's working out a lot better now.
Right. Now this is going to seem like a strange question, but
yeah, go ahead.
Do you like prefer to help people that have a legitimate like muscle problem or aches or whatever, as opposed to a group of ladies that are going for like a spa day and they got the mimosas and they're flirting or whatever, and you're just like, oh, they're not really. This is just a day of
relaxation
for them.
And
like what would you, who would I mean? Do you take both, or would you rather really help people that are like suffering?
I mean, you know, it's whoever will gain the most benefit. You know, that's kind of what I'm after. And you know, if that's someone who has like, you know, crazy low back pain or like sciatica, great. You know, I'll help them out. I have no problem with that. My sessions aren't really conducive to more of a relaxation type, so I don't necessarily get like, you know, the spa day women who just kind of want to come in and relax. It's more, think of like, you know, PT. It's very open, very casual. But I mean, relaxation has several benefits, and so I have no problem doing that as well.
Right. Okay, well, let's talk about something, because I think I saw a video of someone that you'd done cupping on.
Yeah.
And we'll get to that. And then they were like working out with the cups.
Yeah.
Like on them.
Yeah.
Like
some
that.
active
I was like,
range of motion.
Yeah. I was like, well, maybe we should discuss cupping like right now because, well, first of all, I had cupping done by an acupuncturist that I used to see. And I'm really glad that I could not see what was happening. Because when you see it on video, you're like, it looks like you've got like red hamburger buns like
basically
popping up out of your flesh, and it leaves a mark for a few days. And I was glad that I had not seen that, because I might have been like, well, hell no.
Yeah.
So, but just explain like that it might look horrific, but maybe it'll help them, like what it does and how they go on. Do they like twist on? Do they clamp on? Or
it's basically like, and I have the cups here. I can pull one out for you.
Let's pull one out.
Yeah. Well, these are a great kind of visual, so that everyone can kind of understand what actually goes on.
Oh, there's different sizes.
Yeah, so we got several different sizes. Let me turn this around so the camera can actually see it.
All right.
Here we go. Okay, so these are my cups.
Look at that.
Bring them up.
Right.
There we go.
Don't put a mimosa in that cup.
No, definitely not. So this is the applicator, and it's just suction, so it draws the air out of the cup. And so I will apply these onto people's backs, onto people's legs, and they're great for myofascial release. And so what that actually does is it pulls blood up through the tissue, through the connective tissue, and through the muscle. Great for, chronic pain, great for blood flow, great for lymphatic flow.
Right. And do they have to be hot or no? Mine were hot. Mine were like...
Did she do fire cupping on you?
She didn't say that's what it was. I definitely felt like they were really warm.
Yeah. There are different types of cups. So like these, I would say, are pretty standard across the board.
Right.
Hard plastic, you can disinfect them. They're great. They don't get hot. They don't get cold.
Oh, right.
It's basically just suction, and it kind of looks how it feels.
Right.
Right. There are fire cups. People will swab the inside of them. They're kind of like glass jars with like a cotton ball that's on fire, and then that's kind of where the suction comes from. And then at my practice, I have these red light therapy cups, which combine red light, suction, and heat. And so that's another tool that I like to incorporate in my sessions.
Don't worry that Wade's going to pull out the cups and he's going to,
Yep. And I these are no added extra. So if I think the client would benefit from cupping and they're okay with it, we'll do some cupping. If not, it's no extra fee. Just include it with the price.
How can you tell if you got your hands on somebody, like this person needs some cupping?
Yeah.
Like, how do you know? How do you sense that is a good thing you want to say?
Like feeling for tension?
Right, yeah.
It feels like a density change. So over the years, I've kind of learned what like healthy, pliable tissue feels like. And in turn, I've learned what kind of stuck muscle tissue feels like. And it just kind of depends on, what the client does, how often they use their body, if they're an athlete, and, whether or not they like cupping ultimately.
Right. Mm-hmm. I guess you don't know until you try it. Try it.
100%.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's not going to kill you.
No.
Let's get to the firefighting.
Yeah.
Now, so, like, how often do you do that? Like, is that your, like, are you trying to keep both afloat at the same time?
Yeah.
And how does that work?
So the firefighting schedule, full time, it's one 24-hour shift every 3 days. So it's 124, then you have 48 hours off, 124, 48 hours off. In those 48 hours off, I'm able to take my clients. And especially having my own business, controlling my schedule, it's made it just works, honestly. I was afraid when I started doing both that it wouldn't, that I just like experience burnout, but I haven't gotten to that point yet. The 48 hours allow me to have enough time off from the station to take my clients and also relax. Right.
Now, what was the process like of becoming a firefighter?
Yeah.
Like, is it like a lengthy?
It took me about a year. And I'm only an EMT, so I'm going to start my paramedics probably, if not this year, then next year. And that'll take me another 11 months. But the process is, at least depends where you go. I went to Sinclair, and they have it laid out really nicely. So it's Fire 1, Fire 2, and one course, and then the next semester is EMT. Once you get both of those, you're pretty much eligible to work, and then a lot of it's just online training, or on-the-job training, excuse me.
Oh, right. Right. Yeah, I can't imagine, like, spray the hose at the computer.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Man, that'd be expensive.
It would be. It'd be like, oh, another Mac up in flames.
What a shame.
Now, let's ask this question here. What do you think are some misconceptions about like massage therapists and firefighters. Like,
I mean, I don't want to say like the obvious ones, but it's like kind of like the obvious ones. I think.
Right, that you've been on a calendar.
Uh-huh.
We know you've been on a calendar.
I have not been on a calendar yet. No, I would like to. I think that'd actually be pretty fun.
Yeah, I mean, there's this whole thing of kind of in both those fields. They've been kind of through like media and sitcoms and all that. They've been kind of.
Can I say the word perverted?
Well, not perverted, like
not
kind of
because that's not quite
like,
right.
Yeah, it's kind of like not sexualized in a way, but there's that
glamorized.
Yeah, a bit of both. Yeah, like there was an episode of Friends because you can always relate everything to an episode of Friends.
Yes.
Where I think Monica and Phoebe and Rachel.
Yeah.
Like. They were burning up stuff from past boyfriends, and they kind of set the apartment on fire. And of course, 3 firefighters arrive, and they're all like, and they were like, "What can we burn next? Let's get them to come back." And almost like that whole thing of like, like.
I mean, there's definitely a little bit of that, and
do you embrace it, or do you?
I embrace it because it shows, like the public support for what we do. And so that's fantastic. It's great. As far as massage therapy goes, it's not like I'm working at a spa anymore.
Right.
So I'm trying to change kind of the public's conception of what massage therapy can actually be, and how the scope of the scope that I'm able to work in and what I'm actually able to do, aside just from, standard like relaxation massage. So that's kind of the narrative that I'm trying to push.
Where can people find you?
Yeah, so I'm located here in Centerville within a gym called Defiance. It's off of West Park. It's 116 West Park Road.
Right.
And I'm there. I only do by appointment only. But when I'm there, I'll offer, free walk-in assessments. And so if you're a regular gym goer there, come check me out. I'm sure I've spoken to a lot of you already.
Right.
And if not, I'm more than willing to, take on some outside clients and kind of introduce you to the gym. It's a great space, honestly.
Right. And if people were Googling a name for you, like how would they find you?
WCW Massage Therapy. Just my initials, Wade Christopher Wuebker, Massage Therapy.
Right. And let's say how to spell Wuebker.
Yeah.
So that we, because it doesn't sound like there's a U in it, but it is. So it's WADE.
Yep.
And the last name is WE. You say it.
You're good. Wade is WADE. Wuebker, WUEE. B as in boy, KER.
Right. Yes.
Yep. And I'm at WCW Massage Therapy.
And and one other thing I want to mention. You also like teach a little bit. Like you're doing like a couples. You do couples. Like to help couples like massage each other?
That's something I'm trying to get started in February, is kind of an online at-home couples massage therapy class. So kind of teach couples how to help each other, in between these massage therapy sessions. Right. And I have 4 couples signed up already. I'm trying to take on 12, so spots are pretty limited. Right. But yeah, so that'll be starting in February, starting to teach these, just at home, how to help each other classes.
Right. And that information can be found out if they find you online.
Yep, you can find it on my Instagram, on my Facebook, and then I'll be posting something to my website later this month.
Right. Are you on X?
I am not on X. No.
Neither am I. Because I
formerly Twitter.
Yeah, because I don't like that guy.
Elon.
Yeah.
He's probably listening, so I won't say anything.
Right. No, I know. Yeah, I think he could he controls lightning. Like he could just fry me right here, right on the spot. Yeah. So trust in this guy with your body and peace of mind and wellness and health, and go see him. And again, say your name.
Wade Wuebker at WCW Massage Therapy. If you have pain and you don't want it to get worse, we can get a session. I'm here to help you out with that.
That's awesome. Just do what he said. Thank you for watching another episode of Man with a Mentor.